ephemera. Ephemera, anything short-lived or transitory. And it's all about collectibles and things that don't last, like paper stuff. And I've got a whole house full of ephemera. And we're going to look at some of it today. I've been digging in the crypts with my velvet shovels, looking for things that are lost and forgotten. Come forward, let's take a look at two of these things I just found. Right here, from 1980, are some Super Friends gift wrapping. That's happy birthday gift wrapping. You've got the Legion of Superheroes and the Justice League, and you got Plastic Man, and they're all singing happy birthday to you. And that's pretty exciting. And over here, you seem to have this sort of goofy balloons and stuff. Not quite so. So that's the one pattern, and it just keeps repeating over and over and over. Okay? And I quite like the fact that I bought this probably at some cheap store for $1 a piece, and it's still with me. Okay, that's some ephemera. I was digging in another pile. You know who that is? That's Bruce Cabot and Fay Wray from King Kong. More ephemera. Now let's go back to the 60s. Back in the 60s, there was this great, amazing, now this is my Switch and Go Lost in Space instructions, and it happened to be living with my Switch and Go cardboard from the Switch and Go Batman set. And these things were like sort of hanging in like the Switch and Go automobile because it ran on these really goofy tubes. So you set up all these loopy tubes, and then it was air powered, and the car itself, there's the Batmobile, ran on these tubes. So there's the Batmobile, and it ran all over the place. Now, why the Switch and Go Lost in Space instructions is hanging out with the cardboard stuff? Well, that was me saving stuff. That's pretty cool. There's Batman. Thanks, Batman. There's the penguin all beat up. So more ephemera. I was in the basement, and I found this amazing magazine. Life magazine, for those of you who don't know, was the premier magazine of sort of pop culture of the moment, before People magazine. There's Boris Karloff wishing the Frankenstein monster book and Mary Shelley and her creation 150th birthday. Now she's 200 years old, that book, and now we're doing the 200th birthday. So that's another really cool thing to have. And then I found this goofball thing. It's kind of like paper dolls, but not. Press out models. So these are paper models with a little bit of backstory about the Frankenstein monster, Count Dracula, and the werewolf. I, of course, was never skilled enough to do any of this crazy stuff. So you punched all this stuff out, and it was kind of like slot and groove. And lo and behold, there's the monsters you would make. And in the back, if you can close up on that, they'd be stand-up monsters made out of paper. My goodness. That's kind of bizarre. And then one of my favorite pieces of ephemera is the Sears toy catalogs. The Sears and Ward's toy catalogs were wish books full of toys. And they are like our window into the old days. Now, there's a Captain Action series. I've got Captain Action. And right down here, this is one of my favorite series. It's like a 23-piece Batman and Robin series for only $5.19. And you got all these villains and monsters. I had all these sets. And they were so cool. And now here's the spy page. There's the James Bond stuff. Oh my goodness, I've got all that stuff. And we'll look at it later. But there's the Sears catalog from the mid-'60s. And then I want to show you something that I think might be one of the last in existence. Back in about the early 60s, my father said, "What kind of wallpaper do you want?" And we went to the wallpaper store, and we wallpapered my room. And this is the wallpaper we used. This is like the last roll that I know of weirdo wallpaper. They were kind of a takeoff on Big Daddy Roth. And there it is, weirdo wallpaper. Wow. And it still lives in this house. And when I was talking to my father, when he was alive in the nursing home, and he goes, "Oh yeah, there's still a roll of that in the basement. It's under the desk." And I kind of went, he might not have remembered everything, but he remembered where this was. So that's ephemera. I now am in love with the word ephemera because I've been collecting it my whole life. And my parents have been collecting it their whole lives. It's books, it's catalogs, it's postcards, it's photos. It's just the stuff of our dreams and memories that we just shove into drawers and forget about. If you've got ephemera you want to tell me about, please do. This is Super Monster City, where we save the stuff of our youth and childhoods for the future. I'll talk to you later.